Namo Om Vishnu Badhaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Varanta Swamti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachaline Nivasisha Sunyavadi Pashtatara Satarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, I have to sign off a bit prompt today, although we normally do anyway, but I've got something else on at 7, so finish a couple of minutes before that, perhaps. Okay, so let me just go back last verse. Oh yeah, describing the super soul. The super soul. We have the soul, we have the super soul. It's not, as I mentioned, not Superman, super soul. Okay, someone like to start us off today? Number 16.
I have a new person joining, Bindu. She's older from
Wow.
Ireland.
Island. Welcome, Mother Bindu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Haribo. From Ireland, but I recognize. Has she been to our temple? I recognize the face.
She was working in the restaurant downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
In the Pujari there in North Ireland. Yeah, is that where you are, Bindu?
Yes, Mataji. Now I am in Ireland. Yes.
Okay. Welcome, Hare Krishna. Okay, so someone like to and we read this Sanskrit. It's not so difficult. This says Sanskrit, so you can have a go at that. Anyone like to start off today?
I can. Shall I?
Go ahead. Yes.
Which one are we doing? Sorry.
16, 13, 16.
Okay. Text 16. Bahir antascha bhutanam acharam charam evacha suksham matvat tad avignayam durastham chatiki chatat. Translation. The supreme truth exists outside and inside of all living beings, the moving and the non-moving. Because he's subtle, he is beyond the power of material senses to see or to know. Although far, far away, he is also near to all. Purport. In the Vedic literature, we understand that Narayan, the Supreme Person, is residing both outside and inside of every living entity. He is present in both the spiritual and material worlds. Although he is far, far away, still he is near to us. These are the statements of Vedic literature. Ashino duram rajati sayano yati sarvata Katha Upanishad. And because he's always engaged in transcendental bliss, we cannot understand how he's enjoying his full opulence. We cannot see or understand with these material senses. Therefore, in the Vedic language, it is said that to understand him, our material mind and senses cannot act. But one who has purified his mind and senses by practicing Krishna consciousness in devotional service can see him constantly. It is confirmed in Brahma Samhita that the devotee who has developed love for the Supreme Lord can see him always without cessation. And it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 11:54 that he can be seen and understood only by devotional service. Bhaktya tu anayaya.
Shakya. Okay, any immediate reflections on this? Question. It's a familiar subject.
Yeah.
We've been.
I think yogis practice of being smaller than smaller and, like that.
Say again, yogis practice?
Practice, the ones to become smaller and smaller than small,
And in relation to this?
And to this kind of, that they get it from Krishna, everything comes from
okay,
Krishna.
yeah.
Like, that is everything, so all these things come from Krishna.
Yeah, all mystic powers come from Krishna.
Yeah.
Well, not just mystic powers, but everything that we can perceive and everything that we can't perceive is all manifest. It's all coming from Krishna. As Krishna mentions many times in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham Savasha Pabhavo, Patasavam Bhavadate. Everything is manifesting from him. But here, it's a nice meditation, especially when reading these verses about the super soul, that actually Krishna is very, very near to us. So, so near in one sense that it's uncanny. He's situated right in the core of our hearts.
Because we're
Even,
practicing? Is it because we're practicing Krishna consciousness that we're aware of him?
well, we hope to be aware at some point. But at least philosophically, we can appreciate it. Krishna's presence in the heart. No, not just that, but by practicing and Krishna consciousness, we can get some sense of companionship, inner companionship. But so, we may have, you may have family members who are very close to you, or you may not. They may be very far from you. Depends on your situation. But you may have friends who are very close, but closer than any of your family, closer than any of your friends, is the Lord in the heart. Yeah, that's why he's not Surit. He's our best friend. Krishna's our best friend because he accompanies us as a best friend, not just in this life, but in life after life. So we can imagine that by becoming conscious of this, it can be quite a profound experience. Profound experience to actually realize Krishna's presence. Yeah, and it's not as if we mentioned this before. It's not as if we can actually, how can I say? It's so subtle. It's not as if we actually hear him speak. Like he says, "Okay, now turn left. Now, don't do this. Now do that." But it's so close. It's like it's the inner. It's the what's the word? No, the inner conscience that comes. And we find that if we're practicing Krishna consciousness nicely, unknowingly, we will be acting according to the direction of Krishna. He's the one who's guiding our conscience, and advising our intelligence. Yes, subtly. That's why Prabhupada himself was so empowered, because there wasn't anything in the way between him and Krishna. So everything he did was directly being dictated by Krishna. So that's why everything he did was very powerful. And everything he wrote, everything he said was so powerful because there's a clear, everything's clear because his heart's pure. So he's a clear via medium.
It wasn't Prabhupada, it was like Krishna pushing him and guiding him. And because, when you read about Prabhupada, everything he went through, a normal person would have said, "Oh, I give up. I've tried, but it's not working." But against all odds, he just kept on going and going. And that's Krishna pushing him from within. Don't give up. Don't give up. Like Krishna was just there with him all the time in all the circumstances he went through, all the ups and downs he went through. He just never gave up. So there was something there, because it's not like normal. Normal person would have given up a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Yes.
In what Monica is saying, is like what I was listening to a class, the Mr. Maharaj's class. How when one, like somebody in the position of Prabhupada, a pure devotee, it's like they don't feel the impediments, because they don't see any impediments.
No.
They don't feel danger. They don't feel anything because they're so conscious of Krishna.
Yeah.
How Maharaj was saying that You know, we aspire to just get out and enough of this material because we're so engrossed in feeling pain, feeling
Fear. We have so much fear still.
Yeah, so we want to just get out. And he was saying that once you come to a pure state, like because there's pure devotees, they so relish being in association of saintly people discussing Krishna conscious, you know. So Prabhupada wouldn't feel the situation.
Yeah, well,
Powerful that.
yeah, I was reading yesterday actually. No, what's the day today? Today's Monday. Yeah, yesterday, Sunday. That speaking about prema, someone who has prema, then obstacles nourish prema. So the more obstacles they face, then the more Krishna conscious they are, because that's the nature of their love. And going back to Prabhupada and the experience he had coming to America when he was on a Jaladuta. I mean, the fact that he came over at such an elderly age, and as Monica's pointing out, that was all inspired by Krishna. Yes, go on. Yeah, buy that ticket, get that ticket, go to what is it, Maharaj? What's that lady you got the ticket from?
Maharani Narayan.
Sumati, yeah.
Srimati Moraji.
Mara.
Yeah,
Okay.
and perhaps we can also, when he wasn't able to meet her, so he just sat on the steps outside her
waiting.
building like all day. So he's getting his, so Krishna is probably, we might say, yes, stay here, and he's, yeah. And on the boat when he had a heart attack. I mean, I mean, say if you're going to a I don't know if it's a good example. If you're going to a retreat and you're going on a boat and you have a heart attack on the boat, would you continue on the retreat or would you go back home?
Go back home. Go back home.
Stop, turn the boat round. I've had a heart attack.
Yeah.
I'm not going. But Prabhupada, he had a heart attack on the boat. He could have just stayed on the boat for the return journey and said, no, sorry, it's too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is the super soul. This is Krishna within the heart, He's very far away, but he's also very near to all. He's not just near to Prabhupada, he's near to every one of us. Super soul is there. He's watching over us, and trying to guide us, trying to give us good conscience, And how to realize that is mentioned here, only by devotional service. Yeah. Bhakcha tu ananya shakya. Yeah. Any other comments or questions on this?
And that's where you said that Krishna is so near as well. So in that, you realize how, I talked about this before, Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu saying, is your Lord in this pillar?
Yeah.
He's so close, he's so near, Yes, he's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and as he's right there. This is what Prahlad could see. He's everywhere.
Prahlad could
Yeah.
see. So
That's why then Hiranyakashipu got a bit angry. So he's being a bit sarcastic. So is he in this pillow then? To prove he's not in the pillow, then he smashed the pillow. And the pillow, not pillow, or pillar, not pillow.
Yeah.
He didn't come out of a pillow. And he came out of a pillar.
They won't be nushing at them then.
Yeah, so to prove that point, he smashed the pillar. And sure enough, there was Krishna, but not in such a lovable form. Yeah, all right, let's have a look at 17, shall we? See what... Okay, anyone like to read number 17?
Can I try, Prabhu?
Yes, go ahead, please, Mother. Thank you, Mother Pushpa.
Yeah. Purport only, yeah?
No, you can,
not Sanskrit.
you
English.
could read the Sanskrit if you want, and the translation and purport.
Well, I'm not good at Sanskrit, but I can try.
I'm sure you do right. Don't worry. You don't have to. We're not. Do your best, and that's the best.
We'll just have to cancel your second initiation then. Oh, sorry. Just joke.
It's going to be difficult, but anyway, I'll try.
Okay.
Avibhaktam bhuteshu vibhaktamiva cha sthitam Putta bhatu cha tasneyam krashishnu prabha vishnu cha.
Wow, you did great, no?
Yeah.
Go on, translation in purple.
Although the super soul appears to be divided amongst all beings, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is maintainer of every living entity, he is to be understood that he devils and develops all. Purpose. The Lord is situated in everyone's heart as the super soul. Does not mean that he has become divided. No. Actually, he is one. The example is given of the sun. The sun as a meridian is situated in its place. But if one goes for 5,000 miles in all directions and asks, where is the sun? Everyone will say that it is shining on his head. In the Vedic literature, this example is given to show that although he is undivided, he is situated as if divided. Also, it is said in Vedic literature that one Vishnu is present everywhere by his omnipotence, just as the sun appears in the many places to many persons. And the Supreme Lord, although the maintainer of every living entity, there was everything at the time of annihilation. This was confirmed in 11th chapter when the Lord said that he had come to devour all the warriors assembled at Kurukshetra. He also mentioned that in the form of time, he develops all from their original state. And at the time of annihilation, there was them. The Vedic hymns confirm the fact that he is the origin of omnipotence. And after annihilation, everything. Oh, did I jump back to your line?
Yeah. Just it's okay. Just carry on. We're following here.
I'll try from there. Yeah. Develops all from their original state, and at the time of annihilation, there was them. The Vedic hymns confirm the fact that he is the origin of all living entities, and the rest of all. After creation, everything rests in his omnipotence, and after annihilation, everything again returns to the rest in him. These are the confirmations of Vedic hymns. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yan
Tatani jivanti yat payanti abhisham pushanti taprama tat vikanashava.
And
yeah. Tati Traya Upanishad. Yeah. Well done. Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna. So
thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So any immediate reflections? Yeah. So he is maintaining all living entities. I guess some of you might be parents, or some of you are, and think we are maintaining our children, but actually Krishna's maintaining everyone. Yeah. Although he is maintaining every living entity. Yeah. So ultimately, yeah. Sometimes we see here in London, we sometimes wonder how people survive. You see kind of maddened people on the street, or maddened people, or homeless people, or like that. Often I'm curious, how do they live? How do they eat? I'm also going to the temple as well. You see hundreds of pigeons all trying to get their breakfast, flying around trying to pick up some crumbs. Yeah, today I saw also we have coming into central London looking for food is seagulls.
Ah,
They come right in central London because
gosh.
they're scavenging the rubbish. And one
Oh.
seagull, he had there were there was all around this big open bag. It was a big mess, and he was
Mm.
eating a big lump of meat, which was bigger than he could swallow, but he was trying his best to swallow it anyway. I won't go into graphic detail.
Oh.
But I was appreciating, yeah, everyone gets fed. Yeah,
Mm.
Krishna's maintaining everyone. Unless, was it else? There's enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed.
Great.
So sometimes people have to go without, but that's not Krishna's arrangement. That's 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 someone's greed. Yeah, so sometimes persons may have to go without, but generally everything there's enough. Krishna is supplying everything. Yeah,
Maintainer of
yeah, he's
everything.
the maintainer. What's the word for maintainer? Yeah,
What's
he's
that?
the
Yeah, what's
Bhuta
that?
Patri. Bhuta Patri. And he devours all. So he's going to devour us in the form of time. Yeah. He devours and develops all. Yeah. Any other little insights or comments here? I think we've covered this before as well, isn't that he hasn't been divided. Sometimes there's philosophy where people think because he is everywhere, then he is nowhere, in the sense that he is lost. God has disposed himself into everything and he doesn't have a personal form anymore. Yeah. But we understand different. Om Puna Puna Idam Puna Punamudachite Punasya Punamadaya Punam Eva Vasishyate. Although so many complete units emanate from him, he remains a complete balance. Yeah.
His time, so he devours everything eventually because he is time. Krishna is time,
Yeah.
so he devours everything in the end.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. It's a mystical potency time. You cannot stop it. you can
Nah.
you cannot well you can see you cannot I mean it's like the wind. You cannot see the wind, but you can perceive the presence of the wind when it blows in the trees. The same with time, that we cannot see it, but we can perceive the effects of it when we see our body aging. We know time is taking its toll, as they say. So it's a very
It's so subtle though, isn't it? It's just so subtle the way the body's aging though. It's just I always get amazed. It's like when you haven't seen people for a long time and then when you've seen them and you think, gosh, they've really like aged, but
yeah.
yet you can't physically see it happening. But
Yeah, and those people
yeah,
those people think the same about us as well.
yeah.
Is that when they're looking at us, they're thinking the same as us. Oh, you've
Yeah.
really aged.
It's
But yeah,
just
this is time.
mm,
Um, but there's a nice verse that describes for one who spends his time reading Bhagavad Gita or hearing about Krishna, then they are not subject to time. Yeah, just the verse that describes each setting and rising of the sun, then it sucks out or it reduces the life of everyone except one who hears about Krishna. I mean, our material body has to go through the ravages of time, but by hearing and chanting about Krishna, we're developing our eternal identity. So in that sense, we are not being destroyed by time. Yeah.
slowly.
Yes. Yeah, the Prabhupada gives a simple example about the sun. It's in one place, but it seems to be situated everywhere. So what to speak of Krishna? Yes. All right. And so hearing all about the super soul here in chapter 13, Any other curiosities, questions, or reflections? We can then move on to 18.
Shall I
Any,
have a go?
yeah, any readers? Please go ahead.
I can have a go. Is it text is 18?
18, yes.
Text 18. Jyotisham apitaj jyotish tamasha param uchyate jnanam gyana gamyam heti sarve savishtitam. He is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond the darkness of matter, and he is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the object of knowledge, and he is the goal of knowledge. He is situated in everyone's heart. Purport. The Supersoul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the source of light in all luminous objects like the sun, moon, and stars. In the Vedic literature, we find that in the spiritual kingdom, there is no need of sun or moon, because the effulgence of the Supreme Lord is there. In the material world, that Brahma Jyotir, the Lord's spiritual effulgence, is covered by the Mahatattva, the material elements. Therefore, in this material world, we require the assistance of sun, moon, electricity, etc. for light. But in the spiritual world, there is no need of such things. It is clearly stated in the Vedic literature that because of his luminous effulgence, everything is illuminated. It is clear, therefore, that his situation is not in the material world. He is situated in the spiritual world, which is far, far away in the spiritual sky. That is also confirmed in the Vedic literature. Aditya Varnam Tamasa Paristat Sevastasvatar Upanishad 3.8. He's just like the sun, eternally luminous, but he is far, far beyond the darkness of the material world. His knowledge is transcendental. The Vedic literature confirms that Brahman is concentrated transcendental knowledge. To one who is anxious to be transferred to that spiritual world, knowledge is given by the Supreme Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart. One Vedic mantra, Shavestara Upanishad, says, Tam he devam atma buddhi prakasham. Mumukshar va saranam aham prapte. One must surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead if he wants at all liberation. As far as the goal of ultimate knowledge is concerned, it is also confirmed in the Vedic literature, Tam eva viditvati mrityam iti. Only by knowing him can one surpass the boundary of birth and death. He is situated in everyone's heart as the Supreme Controller. The Supreme has legs and hands distributed everywhere, and this cannot be said of the individual soul. Therefore, that there are two knowers of the field of activity, the individual soul and the supersoul, must be admitted. One's hands and legs are distributed locally, but Krishna's hands and legs are distributed everywhere. This is confirmed in the Shatweshwara Upanishad. Sarvasya Prabham Ishanam Sarvas Saranam Prahat. That Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supersoul, is the Prabhu, or Master, of the all living entities. Therefore, he is the ultimate shelter of all living entities. So there is no denying the fact that the Supreme Soul and the individual soul are always different. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any questions here?
Don't need the sun and moon in the spiritual world.
No, that's what
This
we
is
hear,
all-
isn't it?
all
Yeah.
just illuminated.
Self-effulgent. Self-effulgent. Yeah.
So do they not have nighttime then there?
They do, as we know. Krishna has his pastimes because Krishna goes to enjoy Raslila at night, so there has to be night.
Ah.
There's full moon. Yeah,
Ah.
but it doesn't, the turning of, it's the ever present. So it acts to facilitate Krishna's Leela and pastimes. Yeah, it's difficult to really comprehend, but it doesn't, like here, as we mentioned, the rising and setting of the sun has its effect in past and present. But there in the spiritual world, it's not subject to the influence of time. So yeah, trying to explain something which is inconceivable.
So the moon and the moon would come up for the leelas of Krishna's pastimes.
Yeah.
You'd see the moon because it facilitates that leela.
I don't know if you see the moon because it's not. No, the moon is actually a devotee of Krishna, so it's taking darshan of the leela.
Okay.
So that's why, for instance, in the Ras Leela, it's described that it goes on for, I think, a day of Brahma or a lifetime of Brahma.
Yeah.
So in other words, the moon is, a whole different dimension, a whole complete different dimension is in the spiritual world. Here in the material world, we are functioning in only a very limited dimension. But in the
because of the
spiritual
time
world,
factor. Is that because of the time factor?
Because of the time factor, because it's Krishna's inferior energy as well, because it's not the spiritual world, it is the material world. And therefore, people go through Janma, Mrityu, Jayavadi, birth, death, old age, and disease. Yeah. So, but in the spiritual world, it's a different laws there. Different laws.
Don't get old there.
No. There is no, as we mentioned before, there is no hospitals in the spiritual world. There is no funerals. There's no cremations. There's no one on crutches. There's no one, it does nothing. Yeah.
Wow.
Welcome to the material world. Yeah, we're in the material world where it's not the spiritual world. So therefore, it's full of inebriety. It's full of things which are not good.
Yes.
But it's a proof that there is a perfect place in one's, because this is a reflection. This is reflection. So there is a place where, as we hear, that none of the anxieties of this world exist. That's the spiritual realm. Yeah. So
but here we really discussing super soul, which is Vishnu, and what, like, he's the maintainer and he annihilates, he creates.
Yeah, also I've heard it described that for a devotee of Krishna, then it's Krishna. Yeah. Sometimes there's some discussion on at what stage of advancement, is it Vishnu or is it Krishna, But let's just take it for all extents and purposes, because we're dedicated to Krishna and we're worshipping to Krishna. So we should see and understand that it's Krishna who's in our heart, that is guiding us. So ultimately your specific Ishtadev, who you're specifically attracted to, he is the Lord of your heart. So who is in Hanuman's heart?
Ram, Sitaram.
Ram, we got that picture. I mean, I don't know what to make of that picture. Sometimes it's quite gruesome. He's tearing open his chest and you see bits of blood sometimes. And inside his chest is Ram and Sita. So that's his worship, or that's his Ishtadev, So, yes. So I was just meditating upon as well that it's so Krishna is the sustaining, kind of almost mystical sustaining force that makes life happen. Everyone is moving under his direction. Krishna, or the Lord, is situated in everyone's heart. So he is everything in that sense. That's what's being described here as a super. He's situated everywhere. Everything's manifesting from him. He is the master of all living entities. But so when we read this, it stands out stands out when someone says that they don't believe in God. You can, so they might not agree with it. If someone says they don't believe in God, you'll know you're standing in front of a mad person. You might not say that, depends on the situation. But that person's insane from a theistic point of view. To make that statement means one's in the grossest type of ignorance, you know, because we look and we're here, we're studying Bhagavad Gita to see how much everything and everyone is completely situated and dependent upon the Krishna, you know. But some people say there is no such thing as God, you know.
That form of arrogance, isn't it?
Could say arrogance, yeah. Self-centered, you know. They're really miserly consciousness. Of course, we should feel compassion, you know, for such persons, you know. But yeah, the miserly consciousness, they don't want to see, and so therefore they cannot see. But here we're hearing great, wonderful description of the role that God actually plays. There is a philosophy that says God created everything, just like someone made a watch. Someone made a watch, and then they had nothing to do with the watch. There's a philosophy from Europe, deists, I think they're called, where God is just He has created everything, and now everything is not is not dependent upon Him at all. Yeah. So therefore, there's this statement which one philosopher said, that you may have heard it, that God is dead. There's one Nietzsche, I think, one philosopher came up in his philosophy based on this principle that God has created and set the world in motion, and then He has been done away with. Yeah. God is dead. And then there's this joke where it's written on the wall in graffiti, and it's got "God is dead," signed Nietzsche. And then the next frame is "Nietzsche's dead," signed God. Get the ideas? So ultimately, this philosopher died by the potency of Krishna's material energy. Anyway, yeah. So let's read the verse again. He is the source of all light in all illuminous objects, so the sun and the moon. He is beyond darkness of matter. He is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the object of knowledge. He is the goal of knowledge. And he's situated in everyone's heart. Okay. Right, let's look at text 19. Anyone like to read text 19? Okay, I can have a go. Iti shatvam tata jnanam jnaneyam chaktam samasataha mat bhakta etat viknaya mat bhavayo papadyate. Thus the field of activities, okay, coming to the end of this chapter perhaps, okay. Thus the field of activities, the body, knowledge, remember knowledge was described in this chapter, text 8 to 12. Remember all those items that were described? Knowledge and the knowable have been summarily described. So this is a summary, okay? Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature. Okay? So if you want to attain to Krishna's nature, you have to understand this thoroughly. Yeah. And Prabhupada's purple. The Lord has described in summary the body, knowledge, and the knowable. One second, just gonna sorry, got distracted. This knowledge is of three things: the knower, the knowable, and the process of knowing. I wish I'd asked this question in school. Please, sir, what's the knower? What's the knowable? And what's the process of knowing? Would he be able to answer? No. Chandravarti is shaking her head. No. No. Combined, these are called Vigyan, or the science of knowledge. Okay. Vigyan means, the science of knowledge or realized knowledge. Perfect knowledge can be understood only by unalloyed devotees of the Lord directly. So keep that in mind, unalloyed devotees. Anyone know what the word unalloyed means? Unalloyed? I'll look in the dictionary. Look up unalloyed. Oh, it's not telling me.
No interruption.
No.
Total. No.
No. Oh, I don't. Same thing. Someone can look in there. Let me look on ChatGPT. Someone can get there before me. Unalloyed. I mean, I know, but it's just interesting to see
Pure. Is it pure?
Pure,
Complete. Complete.
yeah. Why is it pure?
Unreserved.
What was it, Sajari?
Yeah, it's not mixed. So unalloyed means pure. It's not mixed with anything else. Yeah. I think Prabhupada one time was on a morning walk, and he pointed up to one bridge or one building, and he was pointing this word unalloyed. It was like unalloyed steel. Prabhupada was pointing, yes, this should be our devotion, unalloyed, which
Pure.
means that it means there isn't anything else in there. It's just pure. Yeah, it's just pure. There's no gan, this verse and but that's the sunyam. Like Mother Yasoda's love is pure. Yeah, the gopis' love is pure. The cowherd boys, their love is pure. There isn't any material motive there. So unalloyed. I think, Prabhupada used these words specifically.
Actually, yes, you're right, because I heard in the class today or yesterday that Prabhupada says, when he says these words, he means pure devotees.
Yeah. So unalloyed devotee, pure. So there's no other. If you have there's certain metals, they're like mixed with other metals. So when it says unalloyed gold, it means there's no copper in there. There is no other metal in there. It's just the pure metal itself. So Prabhupada used that term to describe pure devotion. Yeah. So perfect knowledge can be understood by the unalloyed devotees of the Lord directly. Others are unable to understand. The monists say that at the ultimate stage, these three items become one. All right, so they say the knowledge and the knowable, they merge and become one. Or the jiva, the knowledge and the knowable become one. But we don't agree with that. No. We are protesting against that. But the devotees do not accept this. Knowledge and development of knowledge mean understanding oneself in Krishna consciousness. We are being led by material consciousness. But as soon as we transfer all consciousness to Krishna's activities, and realize that Krishna is everything, as has been described, then we attain real knowledge. In other words, knowledge is nothing but the preliminary stage of understanding devotional service perfectly. So, the preliminary stage. Anyone knows these three terms? Sambandha, Abhidheya, and Prayojan? Yeah. So Sambandha means knowledge of relationship. Yeah, what's our relationship with the material energy? What's the material energy's relationship with us? What's our relationship with Krishna? Vice versa. What's Krishna's relationship with material energy, etc. So that's what's being explained here. That's the preliminary stage. That if you don't have this knowledge of relationship, then you have nothing to practice. And if you have nothing to practice, then you won't achieve the goal. So that's why it's good for us to read Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, so in this 15th chapter, this will be in the 15th chapter. We're on the, what chapter are we on? 13. Yeah. In the 15th chapter, this will be very clearly explained. Now, to summarize, one may understand that verses 6 and 7, beginning from Mahabhutani, okay, 6 and 7. Do you mind? No, it might take. Let's go back to 6 and 7. Please don't mind. Or will it take too long? Quick, 6 and 7. After all, we are studying Bhagavad Gita, so we should go back and have a look. 6 and 7 here is the 5 great elements: false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses and the mind, the 5 sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms, and convictions. All these are considered, in summary, to be the field of activities and its interactions. Okay, so now we go back here. Try and remember where we was. Yes, here. So now we know, yeah. Now to summarize, one may understand that verses 6 and 7, beginning from Mahabhutani and continuing through Chaitanya Dhriti, analyze the material elements and certain manifestations of the symptoms of life. They combine to form the body or the field of activities. And verses 8 through 12, from Amanvidvam Putattva Gatnatam Darshanam, describe the process of knowledge. So I think we're quite familiar with that, isn't it? We covered that, those verses. Should we go back quickly?
Isn't it the first lot is like the material body made from 5 the Buddhas, right?
Yeah. And then 8
yeah.
8 to 12 is these verses here. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, etc. Tolerance, simplicity. Yeah. That one, that there. So that's, oh, yeah. Describe the process of knowledge. Yeah. So in there, that's the process of Krishna consciousness. Yes, it's good. For understanding both types of knower, the jiva and the Lord, of the field of activities, namely the soul and the super soul. Then verses 13 through 18, beginning from Anadi Mat Param and continuing through Hriti Shavasha Vashtitam, describe the soul and the Supreme Lord or the Super Soul. Okay. These 3 items have been described. Thus, 3 items have been described: the field of activity, the body, the process of understanding, and both the soul and the super soul. It is especially described here that only unalloyed devotees of the Lord can understand these 3 items clearly. For these devotees, Bhagavad Gita is fully useful, fully useful. It is they who can understand the supreme goal, the nature of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the nature of the Supreme Lord Krishna. In other words, only devotees, not others, can understand Bhagavad Gita and derive the desired result. Okay, so Bhagavad Gita is a mysterious book that if you don't have the required mindset or qualification, you can read it for 1,000 years, but you won't make head or tail of it. But if you're a devotee, you can read it and be greatly inspired by it. That's why Prabhupada would often, or the evidence of Prabhupada's rendering of Bhagavad Gita speaks for itself, you know. Because he's a devotee, he gave the real import, or he gave the real purport. You know? So therefore, hundreds of thousands of people are appreciating it. Right. Any further comments or questions here? Perhaps we can pause on this verse.
I was just thinking, like Krishna's mercy. Yesterday, we got together as a family, and you know how you just get or whatever. But some other, Nishikant got Canto 7, and then we started reading and discussing. Everybody was
Nice.
each line, and you know, have getting into deeper, and that's what it is here in this verse.
Yeah.
You know, like sentences and how you get cheaper. Then somebody would explain, and the other one would answer back. What you were is this what you're explaining? Is that how I'm understanding? That's what it is.
Yeah, that's a nice way to. Yeah, it's a nice thing to do. If you're reading with friends or family members, you can even just one sentence, you can stop and discuss it. I often do that at lunch classes now, rather than just read through the whole purport. Yeah, it's good. Great. Get together with the family and
It was Krishna how he just arranged that kind of few hours, you know.
Yeah.
Just us lot, nobody else, just us lot.
Yeah.
And Krishna is so kind, you know.
Then you get so now you got a taste for it. So you can.
Yeah, I really so in a different. There's a Mataji called Chintamani Mataji, and her way of preaching is like this. So they're listening to her. They join her classes. So they.
She does like this. She reads one sentence, stops, discusses,
and then you put your own input into it, and then it goes on like that, you know. So yeah, it was really good. This is what it means by studying Prabhupada's books.
Yes.
You know, to elaborate your thoughts and other people's thoughts and see it in a different angle.
What's that verse? The devotees take great pleasure in always sharing their realizations, like scientists. Matchita makata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantastamam nityam tu santichara manticha. Yeah, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. They derive great pleasure and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Yes, much more bliss to be had there than on Netflix. Guaranteed. All right, we better stop here. I've got to hop on to another. So thank you, everyone. Now I'll be going to the Krishna willing. I'm heading to the United States of America on Thursday, but let's see. I hope to continue this. Depends on the situation, but we'll be in touch. Yeah, but I'm desirous of continuing. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.